Continuing my weekend of new tactical RPG games, I'm looking at Colony Ship, a post-Earth role-playing game. Build version 1.0.21. I've had this on my Steam wishlist for a while, and I got it today, and I am now deciding if I want to turn down the volume because it sounds loud. Games that are loud drive me crazy. Particularly at this moment in time because I have a little bit of a headache. Huh, it gives me a preview of the sound. Das cool. Das cool, man. Yes, let's turn the UI volume. I always like to turn the UI volume down because the beeps and boops of the UI are really annoying to listen to on a video. New game. Go. Choose your preferred playstyle. Hero is the easy mode designed to maximize your chances to win fights and reduce frustration. You wouldn't have to back down or worry about the odds. Instead, you'll just have a good time and kick some ass like a true hero should. If that's your preferred playstyle, then this mode is for you. Underdog is the default difficulty mode integrated into the setting. The world is harsh, dying is easy, and you aren't a hero who can easily kill anyone who stands in your way. You might have to walk away from fights you can't win, make decisions a true hero wouldn't, and master the combat system just to even the odds. It's the best way to experience the game. That's for me, the underdog difficulty, aka the difficulty of a game instead of the difficulty of a consumer product. I will create a new character. Whoops, that says recommended for experienced players. Or I could select a pre-made character, which is recommended for new players. The pre-made characters are Malachi, Malachi. They are all named Malachi. Okay. Oh, I see. We click one or the other one. Oh, so the pre-selected characters are Warrior, Pistolero, and Captain. Warriors are swinging a club like a caveman. Pistoleros are fast-shooting and fast-talking. You can tackle problems in different ways. Hide behind an enemy shield or activate a distortion field generator and charge forward, guns blazing. Or a captain is intelligent and charismatic. You prefer diplomacy and science to more vulgar pursuits. With high intelligence, you will level up faster and excel in more areas. With a high charisma, you'll have no problem recruiting a full crew of companions and commanding them in battle, should it come to it, or avoiding combat entirely. Well, that seems like the best option for somebody who's new. Then again, the Pistolero has a 6 charisma, which should be good enough. It's not quite a cult leader, though. I'm gonna do a Pistolero, the one in the middle. And I need to select a portrait and, oh god, whatever. They all look the same. Doesn't matter. Oh, okay. I was just gonna say, there's no women in the game? She looks intense. She's my character. It is the year of our Lord, 2754. You will never feel the sun's warmth under a blue sky, never hear the wind in the branches of a tree, and never swim in the ocean, because you had the misfortune to be born on the ship. You have never seen Earth, and you'll never see Proxima Centauri either. Your past and future both sacrificed by some dim and nameless ancestor to the greater good of the mission. Starfarer, they called her, A pretty name for a retrofitted interplanetary freighter. She had already been 20 years in service when she was rechristened, and showing every minute of it. No one is certain the ship will actually reach its destination, and nobody much cares, since no one alive now will live to see it. Fatalism is the prevailing philosophy of the shipborne. Make the best life you can and consign all your what-ifs and might-have-beens to the void. Well, let's answer a few questions to divine my character's beliefs and opinions while learning more about the ship. The ship was launched by a neo-Christian conglomerate dedicated to establishing a religious colony on a distant world. The original 50,000 passengers, the so-called First Generation, were true believers in the mission. They sacrificed whatever lives they had on Earth and demanded strict obedience to the laws of God and the ship from their children. Unfortunately, the generations that followed lacked their forebears' fervent will to sacrifice. Dissatisfaction led to open revolt against the authorities, called the Mutiny, and the mutiny metastasized into a civil war. While the mutineers dealt a decisive blow to the old order, they did not eradicate it completely. When the fires died and the smoke finally dissipated, 3 factions emerged from the wreckage of the old order: the Protectors of the Mission, the Brotherhood of Liberty, and the Church of the Elect, each of them promising their own version of the future. You always thought that the mutineers did the right thing. Why should the shipborne blindly bow to the edicts of their centuries-dead ancestors? In fact, you would go on to say, tyrants have always justified their decisions with noble motives, but all they care about is power. That power rightfully belongs to the people. Death to the tyrants. The ship suffered extensive damage during the Civil War, but remains operational. The hull was breached in several places, and frantic efforts to avoid meltdown crippled the main reactor. Radiation increased in places to lethal levels, and several areas remain dangerous to this day. When a small percentage of children in the habitat were first born deformed, they were branded mutants and immediately shunned. The young were abandoned, and those whose defects didn't manifest until later were driven out. With the condition of the fusion reactor degrading to dangerous levels and the number of volunteers for jobs in areas exposed to radiation remaining few, the mutants negotiated a pact with the habitat, granting them protection from harassment and violence in exchange for their maintenance of the engines and other vital ship systems. You have always thought that the mutants prove themselves useful by taking care of the reactor. Who's better to be exposed to radiation than those already affected by it? The place you call home is known as the Pit, and to some more affectionately as the Free City. Calling the towers of containers rising from the depths of a cargo hold a city is a bit of a stretch, and so is the other half of it. With no kind of law or government, freedom mostly means you're free to kill or be killed. On the plus side, housing is cheap, and keeping overhead low is a priority when you have nothing. The real city, a metropolis sprawling across many decks, is called the Habitat. It offers much better living conditions for those who can afford it, but to live there, you have to pick a side among the factions vying for control. Nobody in the Pit gives a damn about your struggles, but like Earth before it, nothing in this world is free. Just keep in mind you might get more than you sign up for. As far as you're concerned, So I'm going to say she has a lot of ideals, but she doesn't live her ideals. If freedom means living in an interplanetary shipping container and sleeping with a gun under your pillow, these Pit dwellers can keep it. She likes convenience. The ship is en route to Proxima b, an Earth-like planet orbiting Proxima Centauri. After launch, a deep space probe transmitted highly detailed images of the surface, which revealed one minor setback. This very habitable world is already inhabited. Since the voyage is estimated to take close to 400 years, it's possible that by the time the ship arrives, the colonists will encounter a mature civilization corresponding to Earth's late Middle Ages. If that's the case... we must make every effort to live in harmony with the New World's native sons and daughters and learn all we can from them. Wow, a colonization angle. As inevitably happens in dark and challenging times, some people turn to God for reassurance, the promise of an end to pain and hunger, or failing an end, at least a purpose. The Church of the Elect rejected both the protectors of the mission and the Brotherhood of Liberty as worldly fools distracted by politics and their own egos. Teaching their adherents that they were chosen by God, the Church frames the journey of the ship as a centuries-long test of faith. We all face a series of difficult trials, yes, but with a very definite end. When the ship arrives at her destination, Judgment Day awaits every citizen. The righteous will be welcomed into the promised land of Proxima B, while the unrepentant will be returned to the hell from which we fled, Earth, to suffer for all eternity. The way you see it. It doesn't matter if God exists. People need to believe in something bigger than themselves. Wow, I thought this would be shorter than this. The Protector's one truth is the mission, and the sole way to ensure successful completion of the mission is to follow the old ways. The ways of the fathers, forefathers, and founding fathers are together the beam upon which the ship travels to our ultimate destination. The mutiny, which, through their steadfast and timely intervention, was thankfully aborted, was the ultimate betrayal of the old ways, of everyone who had come before, the nullification of every sacrifice and every life dedicated to the mission. Sworn to regain control of the ship, the Protectors will subjugate anyone who threatens the mission. Over the last century, they have managed to expand their enclave somewhat, but the Brotherhood is deeply entrenched. To overcome them with violence would result in a massive loss of life, an unfortunate consequence which itself would endanger the mission. The Protectors should be more flexible if they want to attract more people to their cause. The Brotherhood was formed to liberate the people from the shackles of the ship authority. Their first sally, which the fossils of the old world called mutiny, did not completely achieve this aim. However, the Brotherhood was successful in establishing themselves as a significant power in the new order. Unfortunately, the Brotherhood's subsequent attempts to complete their emancipation of the enslaved, wherever they may be, ran into an unexpected obstacle. Not only did the people refuse to cooperate in this noble mission, they often violently resisted, and sometimes even chose the Protectors or the Church over their own best interests. The war goes on, but will be fought on different battlefields and with different tactics. A non-military campaign to win over the people through reason and deceit, weakening the enemy from within, is the central pillar of this new strategy. There's been so many questions I've forgotten what my earlier answers were, so I might be contradicting myself with some of these answers. He who fights monsters should look to it that he himself does not become a monster. Your beliefs and opinions may change and evolve over the course of the game as you interact with factions, groups, and various individuals. Keep in mind that actions speak much louder than words, and that saying one thing and doing another won't fool people for long. Begin your adventure. Loading. Chapter 1: The Pit. Ever since you were a kid, this has been your home, a sprawling heap of vacant cargo containers slowly getting filled up with those who couldn't afford to stay in the habitat, or needed to get away from its bosses and factions. Out here, folks have lived free and died fast, and those who survive earning their keep. And those who survive earn their keep by either diving into the wreckage of Mission Control and bringing back valuable relics of the past, or by figuring out a way to make money off the fools who do the diving. From the day it sprang up like a patch of mold on this rich substrate, the pit has been overshadowed by Jonas Redford, the canny, cagey son of a bitch who planted its first spike. The de facto mayor of a town with no government, Jonas holds court in the Promised Land, the pit's only brothel and the base of operations for his network of thugs and whores. But as the pit has grown, Jonas's seat at the top has gotten shakier. When the Brotherhood of Freedom threatened to annex the town, concerned citizens banded together and hired the Regulators, a mercenary gang led by Jeremiah Braxton, to keep the Brotherhood out. But now, as Braxton's gunmen swagger under the neon lights, some folks have started wondering whether it's time for the pit to get a little law and order, and whether Braxton might be the right man to wear a sheriff's star. I'm not sure I understood all that. You open your eyes to a gray hull metal ceiling, one panel of which flickers yellow, indicating day shift. You overslept, not that it matters. With a grunt, you roll off your stained mattress and open the window to let some fresh air in. Like everything else around here, fresh is relative. The ship does its best to recycle air and water, but cargo holds aren't high on her priority list. You breathe in metal and burning oil and look up. 4 of the bridge's 6 projectors are still operational, shining dully down on the container towers of Cargo Hold 3, better known as the Pit, the Free City. Calling the pit a city is a bit of a stretch, but so is calling this reddish-brown liquid water. You've read that water is supposed to be clear, and cities are supposed to be big, but no shipborne has ever seen either. Maybe in another 100 years, water will look and taste like oil, and people will be talking about the good old days when it was the color of rust, and tasted refreshingly bitter and tangy. That's the kind of optimism that keeps you going. The elevator crawls up a groove in the cargo hold's wall, like a black steel bug that's worn a path traveling to the bridge and back. It's time to get up there and earn a few credits, but first, you need a drink. For the last few years, you've been doing odd jobs for Tanner, a local hustler with a nose for making money. He's never tried to screw you over, which is pretty close to being virtuous in this town. Still, there's a first time for everything. Whiskey Jack is added to the map. I'm gonna go meet Tanner in a nearby bar called Whiskey Jack. Don't forget your gun. You never know when it might come in handy. I get to pick one. I'm going for a makeshift shotgun. And a backup weapon, perhaps, if you run out of bullets. Camp knife. And here I am. My name is Jezebel, apparently. Did I pick that name? I don't remember picking that name. Wow, it scrolls so fast. This looks like the same game engine as, Is this from the same people that made Disco Elysium? Okay, right-click to move, because it really looks very similar to Disco Elysium. Oh my god, it's so fast. It's so fast and sensitive, the keys. It's crazy. Can I scroll out? Okay, let's scroll out a little bit. Apartments for rent, no vacancy. Let's go talk to some people. I guess nobody minds if I walk around with a shotgun. I'm gonna talk to my neighbor. Done with this fucking town, says Charlie, his eyes empty and lifeless. 2 years I've been here, and what do I have to show for it? Nothing. What are you gonna do, go back to the Habitat? Guess so, nods Charlie. Doesn't seem so bad now, the habitat. Don't know what I was thinking. Take care, Charlie. Exciting. Right-clicking to move. Hey, let's talk to Xavier. Another day, eh, Jezebel? Says Xavier, raising a cup of the black blend of chemicals that has passed for coffee aboard the ship for at least a generation. Looks like it. Any big plans? I got a job on a diving crew, says Xavier, taking another sip. They lost 2 men last week, so they hired me on the spot. Must be my lucky day. Which crew? Sullivan's down in Mission Control. It's like a maze down there. Sealed doors, corridors, entire decks. They cut the power to kill the auto defenses, which didn't make things easier. Now there's a demand for divers who can open doors the old-fashioned way. Sounds useful. Can you show me the basics? Sure, if you pay me for my time. Let's say 200 credits. Trust me, you'll make that money back in no time. No. No, thank you. I must save my credits. So he'll teach me some skills, I think. Alright, this music. I turned the music down and it still sounds really loud. Turning that way down some more. Still sounds really loud. Well, this place sure seems depressing. Can't talk to those guys, can't talk to the kids. I can only talk to some people. Can't go that way. Let's check out the biorecycler. These biorecyclers break all organic matter from waste to dead bodies gathered each morning into simple organic compounds and mineralized nutrients, which the ship turns into NTABs. It's the circle of life. Do I have a map? I do have a map. Hey, I have a tutorial. The central street, if you can call it. If you can call the space between container stacks a street. That's where you can find all notable stores and establishments. Oh, I got fast travel already. I guess we can just quickly fast travel to Whiskey Jack. Hey, Whiskey Jack. What can I get you? The bartender has spotted you looking over the assortment of unlabeled plastic gallon jugs, each with its own unappealing liquid in some shade of brown. We got gut warmer, rat poison, high voltage, firewater, and absolution. Special on the rat poison right now. Every third round is free for as long as you're able to drink it. Well, rat poison it is then. The ship provides the basics of human survival: recycled air, recycled water, NTABs, recycled nutrients and minerals pressed into chewable tablets. They taste like cardboard, but they're free. Those who desire the finer things in life, like synthetic meat with a side of algae, have to pay. Because the forefathers disapproved of drink, the ship was never configured to provide alcohol, but the law of supply and demand supersedes the dictates of religion, and everyone's favorite vice is widely available. Each bar has its own secret recipe. The wise drinker prefers to leave it a secret. The bartender gives you a nod as he sets a beaten alloy mug on the bar and fills it with a black, oily liquid. You take a careful sip first, fighting your body's instinctive rejection of poison, and wait for the familiar warmth to spread through you. After a few moments, the world is a slightly better place. So, Jack, any work around here? Well, since you asked, there's this fellow who owes money to just about everyone in the area. The name is Jedediah Walker, but he just goes by Jed. Balance owed is 1,200 credits, including interest. If you manage to collect, you'll get 250. How does that sound to you? Jed Walker? The name sounds familiar. I can tell you, he runs his mouth faster than he runs up a tab, and that's saying something. Jed claims to have traveled the ship from stem to stern and made deals with every type of merchant, fanatic, and scav known to the void. How such a worldwide entrepreneur ended up living in a rusted-out container furnished with discarded packing material is a mystery to me. But I just serve liquor, never claimed to be one of the big brains around here. Alright, Jack, where can I find him? Ask around in Camptown. Start with the local bars. This place has got a very... this game's got a very noir feel to it. All the gin joints and all the things and all the yeah. You know, that sort of thing. Start with what now? Do I have a journal? Tanner, a local hustler, sent word that he has a job for you. He's waiting for you at Whiskey Jack. And also Whiskey Jack asked me to collect on the debt of Jed Walker. Jed's current whereabouts are unknown, but you can ask around in Camptown, starting with the local bars. Alright, well, let's find... Tanner? Is that who I'm looking for? Oh, I just walked past him. He's got a drink first. I got a job for you, Jezebel, says Tanner, gesturing for a drink. Interested? What kind of job is it? An easy one. Tanner pulls a plastic rectangle. Tanner pulls a plastic rectangle from a compartment inside his sleeve and slides it towards you. The card is old and worn. The color is long faded, but the raised print on the front is still as clear as the day it was stamped. A2. That's Armory, Level 2, the holy grail of every scavenger on the ship. During the mutiny, the rebels looted every depot on the first level, but the automated defenses on the second stopped them dead, literally. Those same turrets have dissuaded every scavenger since. Is it real? Is it real? Repeats Tanner, miming a look of disbelief. Girl, you don't have the stones for it, just say so. Don't insult me. Every scab worth his salt has been searching for this card for decades, but you're the one who found it? I have my ways. Tanner's smile reveals stained, uneven teeth. You see, I wasn't looking for a long-lost access card, since I'm not a fool. I was looking for Technical Officer Ulysses Colton. Tanner pauses so you can show your admiration for his savvy. Let me guess, he had the card and you alone figured it out. Not quite, says Tanner. I alone figured out how to find a man who changed his identity and died in obscurity nearly 100 years ago. I have a feeling you're dying to tell me about it. Tanner pulls a battered energy pistol from his belt bag and passes it to you. This is his firearm. He changed his name, but he couldn't change the serial number on his gun. Once I found the serial number, the rest was easy. His granddaughter sold the pistol 20 years ago. Are you sure the card still works? Only one way to find out. Tanner grins in an unnerving way. Go see for yourself. When you come back, we'll have a proper conversation. Alright, so here's the big question. Why me? Tanner's silent for a moment, as if deciding how honest he should be. I can't do it alone, and I don't trust anyone else. Keep the pistol. Consider it an investment into our enterprise. It's not going to be an easy trip, so take your time to get ready, you hear me? I'd feel a little safer if I had someone to watch my back. Take Evans. I saw him at Abe's store earlier today. The dumb bastard almost shot me. Well, that sounds like exactly the right man for the job. Someone who accidentally shoots people. Great. Can't wait to meet him. Yeah, this feels a lot like Disco Elysium. Tanner suggested to recruit Evans to aid you in your quest. You can find him in Abe's General Store overlooking the main plaza. Abe's General Store. Let's just fast travel there. It's an old general store. What did it say on the map? An old general store that's been putting on a going out of business sale for the last 15 years. Abe lures the gullible and unworldly with deep discounts and free trinkets. But the man hasn't stayed in the back all these years by giving shit away. The man hasn't stayed in the black all these years by giving shit away. Okay, got it. Okay. Honest Abe's General Store. Everything must go. Hey, Evans. Being a gunfighter is a quick and easy way to make a living in the pit. All it takes is a gun and some guts. It's also a quick and easy way to wind up dead, but the kind of men drawn to the gun always think they're going to live forever. Evans learned the realities of his new trade the hard way. The first time, Evans got lucky and killed his man as he fumbled his draw. Riding high, Evans called out an old hand who put 3 bullets in his chest and left him for dead. Lucky for Evans, the stranger patched him up and he survived. But today he looks like a man whose luck has just about run out. Jezebel, he nods Evans. What brings you to these parts? He asks, his rifle still pointed your way. Well, I have a job for you. A job? Evans pretends to think about it for a moment. Truth to be told, I've got a job for you, too. All you've got to do is stick around and watch my back while I deal with these thugs. You do that for me, I'll do whatever you need, no questions asked. Deal? What thugs? Jonas sent some gun thugs to harass Abe. He nods at the storekeep. Abe here went to the regulators, but Braxton said he can't spare any men. You and I both know the bastard doesn't want to get involved, so Abe hired me to watch the store. But the son of a bitch didn't say a word about Jonas until I agreed. I'm no coward, but I don't want to go against Jonas alone. He runs this town for Christ's sake. Why did Abe go to the regulators? Beats me. We all agreed to hire the regulators when the Brotherhood started eyeing the pit and getting ideas. Only reason they're still around, now that the Brotherhood's backed off, is to make sure they don't come back. At any rate, their job is to show that we have some muscle, even if it's a hired muscle, not sort out local trouble. So what does Jonas want from Abe? Money, what else? His thug said everyone who does business in the pit has to pay taxes or pack up and go. I told Abe he should pay, but he doesn't want to listen to reason. If he wants to die, that's his business, but now I'm gonna go down with him. Well, I guess I'll wait and see what happens. The gun thugs show up around noon. A man in his 40s who moves with slow confidence and a brash young man eager to get himself killed. You got Jonas's money? Demands the kid, talking tough. The older man stays quiet, keeping his eyes on you and Evans. What money? You deaf? Asked the kid, spitting on the floor. Jonas's money. He owns the pit, so it's about time you fucking freeloaders started paying your fair share. You know it doesn't have to go this way. And which way is that? Oh, that's the other guy. And which way is that? Asked the older man softly. You can see he's been counting heads and running odds while the kid's been talking. The way of you leaving the store in a body bag. Might not be me, says the older man, smiling. It's not a good smile. Are you willing to bet your life on it? On what might or might not happen? That's one hell of a gamble, friend. You saying we leave empty-handed? Scoffs the older man. You have a feeling he wants a way out. Apparently, the kid gets the same impression. What are you talking about? Asked the kid. It's 2 against 2. Hell, I could kill both of them myself. We can do streetwise or persuasion. I have a streetwise of 4 and a persuasion of 2. It's 3 against 2. Abe's a lousy shot, but even he can't miss at this range. Not with that hand cannon he's carrying. Success. Have it your way, the older man says tiredly. We're going. The kid tries to protest, but for all his talk, the only thing he shoots is a black look. Hey, my streetwise went up to 5. The door hisses shut behind the gun thugs, and Evans breathes a sigh of relief. Then gunfire erupts outside. Let's go take a look. What do we do now? Asks Evans, visibly shaken. Well, we have to see it through, I suppose. Or wait, nothing. Why make someone else's problems our own? Well, it's your call. I reckon I'll stick with you until this thing blows over. Alright, Evans, welcome aboard. Yay, Evans is in the party. This is gonna be a game with a lot of reading and talking. A lot of these games are like that. Party management. We have Jezebel and Evans. Designated specialists. Level 1, level 1, level 1, okay. Jezebel's the lockpicker and stealer, it seems. Auto assign, yeah. After combat, reload weapons, unified looting. Well, what else do we have? Assign tag. Oh my god, this is a page full of statistics. Skills, melee, range, strength stats, derived stats. Oh man, this reminds me of, there was a role-playing game system that I remember being really into in the late 80s and early 90s. What was it called? I think it was called ICE. It was just like pages and pages of statistics. It was a skill-based system where it was just so many statistics and numbers. This reminds me of that. Okay, well, the gun thugs have been dealt with. You can leave the store now. Or can we? It looks like there's, regulators outside. Do we really want to leave the store now? It feels like if we leave the store, then something bad will happen. Oh, left click to open the door. Yeah, we've walked into an encounter. Rumor has it that Captain Braxton once served a higher power, that in the days before his crisis of faith, he was known as Faithful Gunner Jeremiah Braxton among the Church of the Elect. There's plenty of talk about why he left, but as is often the case, no story is more compelling than the others. Backed up by a few like-minded men and picking up more recruits along the way, Braxton left the church and wound up in the pit, where good fighting men are always in high demand. Around the same time, the Brotherhood had started nosing around, eager to establish a foothold there. Braxton and his regulators offered the good people of the pit their services. After much debate, they were hired to drive the Brotherhood's men out, which was accomplished with brutal efficiency. You see Braxton and two of his men standing next to the bodies of the gun thugs. "Thank God you're alive," says Braxton, holstering his gun. "When I saw them leaving the store, I assumed the worst." What happened here? "What does it look like? They opened fire, we returned it." They weren't eager to draw on me, yet you expect me to believe they started shooting at you and your boys not a minute later? "I paid them to start a fight at Abe's store, not to run away the first chance they got," Braxton says nonchalantly. "None of that changes the fact that the pit can use a makeover. The problem is Jonas doesn't really run the town. He keeps Main Street nice and clean, but doesn't give a damn about the growing camp town around it. Or maybe he just doesn't know what to do about it. Either way, he'll lose control soon enough, and then what? Chaos, gangs fighting for control." "I can't say I like your methods, but you do have a point there. Well, what can we do to help?" What can we do to help that your men can't?" "Quite a lot, actually. If we move against Jonas, he'll claim that the regulators are taking over, and many would side with him. We don't want that. But you're one of them. If you challenge Jonas, people will side with you. Of course, we'll stand with you, but it will be your fight." "Why me?" "Who else? Braxton asks loudly, making sure that everyone can hear him. You didn't look the other way when Jonas's thugs threatened Abe. You saved him because it was the right thing to do. Now I'm asking you to help us save this town. It's tempting. It's very tempting. Unfortunately, saving towns costs money, and I'm broke. Success. 250, says Braxton. As a show of good faith, do right by me, and I will certainly do right by you. Consider me in your employ, Captain. Then talk to Jonas. Put him on notice in front of everyone. Let them all hear what you have to say. Why? Won't he know that we're coming? We aren't going to stab him in the back, Braxton says firmly. A man deserves the right to defend himself. And they're gone. Alright, what are we gonna do? Asks Evans. I don't know, Evans. I haven't decided yet. What's your take on it? Oh, what's that saying? Better the devil you know than the devil you don't? So there's that. But sometimes I wonder whether that devil's gonna let it all go to hell. Jonas did build this town, but that's as far as he's going to take it. He did a good job keeping everyone on their best behavior at first, back when the pit was more of a camp. But the bigger the town got, the more lawless it became. And Braxton? Braxton, his men do a good job patrolling the decks around the town, but I'm not sure I'd want to see them patrolling the pit and telling folks what to do. If Braxton ends up on top, who knows how far he'd take that law and order thing. Although probably not as far as the Brotherhood would, so there's that. So, what did we get out of that? Braxton wants me to confront Jonas. You can find him in the Promised Land. And we got 250 monies out of it. And our streetwise skill is going up. A keen eye for other people's hidden desires and weaknesses will allow you to manipulate both foes and friends. I am competent at streetwise. I'm getting good at it, but you don't stand out from the crowd just yet. Alright, I'm gonna take a break here in front of Honest Abe's General Store. It's not bad. I mean, I don't hate the game. It does feel like a significant amount of investment is required to play this game, though. And I'm not sure I'm into that. There's a lot of imagination required to effectively partake in this game. So I'm gonna whoa, left mouse, middle mouse button is like a panning mode. It's not a rotate. That was confusing, and it's completely backwards from what I expect it to be too. Anyway, I'm gonna stop here in front of Honest Abe's General Store. Oh, I moved the mouse to the bottom of the screen. I always move the mouse to the bottom of the screen to get the cursor off the screen. But, you know, on these tactical RPG games, when you move the mouse to the edge of the screen, it starts scrolling, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to end on this nice image of Honest Abe's General Store. 50% off everything. Alright, see you later.